Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
now.
I'll cue the music. I can't believe it's got to this stage.
It's my mum's like one of her favourite songs. She loves Neil Diamond. Do you guys like Neil Diamond?
No.
It's hard to believe that you're older than me. I grew up with Neil Diamond.
We're coming to America.
Well, we're already here.
We're already here. We're coming to America. Okay, I'm gonna.
Maybe it's we're coming to you from America.
We're coming to you from America. I'm gonna stop that because otherwise I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. Anyway. Hey, welcome. It's Monday night. Well, it's not really.
It's not here in America.
Today is Saturday, and like we're just so discombobulated. But we have to pre-record this because where are we going to be at 8:30 on Monday night?
Somewhere over the Pacific Ocean between LA and Sydney.
Yeah, so maybe Hawaii or somewhere.
On our way back.
Technically, yeah. So anyway, we're here. We are coming to you live, semi-live, pre-recorded from the... That didn't work at all. So we're both alive, and we're coming to you from the convention, Grand Convention in Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's been awesome.
It has been so exciting to be here. And in fact, we're wagging a session. We're actually wagging a session to be with you now because otherwise it's going to be really busy. Yeah. So, but we're having a good time, and we wanted to be with you and for our regular Monday night date. So, welcome. It's great to have you here. So it's Kim's Top 5, and tonight, what is it?
Okay, so I'm doing my top 5 products that were just released at this year's US convention, so the Grand International Convention here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so I thought I'd run you through some of the new products and give you some features. Maybe you've seen some of the posts that we've already been putting up, but I'm going to talk about them.
Exactly. And when these products were released, there was a lot of screaming happening, wasn't there?
A lot of screaming. Especially some of them.
Yeah, I think seriously inside every young living woman is a teenage girl just wanting to get out. There was a lot of excitement. Anyway, so let's start with number 5.
Okay, so number 5 is actually the convention blend. And so this year the theme for convention is freedom. Now, before Gary passed away, you know, like they work out the theme for the convention like a year before. So we kind of knew that all this year that the theme was going to be freedom, and that was what Gary wanted. He chooses the the theme, and he creates the blends. So this year the convention blend is called Freedom. Yeah. And you can see the horse because Gary absolutely loves his Perishons. They're black horses. They're at the farm in Mona, Utah, and they pull along the wagons. We saw them pulling the wagons yesterday when we were at the farm. Anyway, so it's kind of like, you know, the whole theme for this convention has been, you know, what does freedom mean to you? Like, I heard some girls this morning on the tram, and they were talking about, you know, what freedom means to them. And for some of them, it was, you know, that they get to stay at home, and, you know, this business provides them with the opportunity to stay at home, and they don't have to put their kids in childcare. And others were saying, well, it means the freedom to travel. And, you know, so the whole theme has been around that idea of freedom and what that means to you. And
maybe in the comments section, you guys could write your own little, finish that sentence. Freedom means, what does freedom mean for me? Freedom means ... and fill it in. I'd love to know what that is. The blend, it's got a whole lot of interesting stuff in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I guess the first thing that you can smell is the Rutavala blend. It's got Copaiba. You can't really smell the Copaiba, but it has got Copaiba in it. It's got fractionated coconut oil, so it is a blend. It's got sacred frankincense, Idaho blue spruce, vetiver, lavender, the Rutavala blend, Palo Santo, and peppermint. So you can definitely smell, like, you know, if you've used Rutavala before, you can smell that. So yeah,
and it's quite a deeply spiritual blend, isn't it? That's kind of the thing. It was, I'm going to say, for me personally, it was a really bittersweet opening to the convention. We definitely honoured Gary in the whole thing, and it was very moving. And I guess for me, I don't think I'm going to be able to think of freedom without that whole association. But yeah, it was beautiful.
it's a totally amazing blend. Mary actually spoke during the opening about the blend, and you know, one of Gary's, two of Gary's favorite oils, Sacred Frankincense, which he went to immense trouble to get for us, like, because it's not that easy to get frankincense out of Oman. And he had a partnership with an Omani doctor, and together they've been able to set up the distillery and all that kind of stuff in Oman and bring us Sacred Frankincense, which is Boswellia sacra. It also, contains Idaho Blue Spruce, which obviously is another one of Gary's favourite oils, great for men. Lots of really, really grounding and calming oils in there, like, the...
Palo Santo?
Well, I'll talk about Palo Santo in a minute,
okay,
but in terms of the really grounding, like vetiver, lavender, and the rutavala blend, they're really quite grounding. Palo Santo is really interesting because basically a lot of you might have heard of Palo Santo wood, and it's certainly used in a lot of incense and things like that. Palo Santo, the tree needs to die and lay on the ground. I can't remember for how long, but I've got a feeling...
2 years.
2 years,
yeah,
is it?
It takes 2 years for the oil to get out of the heartwood.
Yeah. And then they would chip it and then they distill it in the cookers. So, this blend has some really, really amazing oils, but, very grounding. But the thing is that how I would use this blend is I would apply it or diffuse it and use it for some intention setting. But, it's quite a nice smelling blend, so you could, wear it on a daily basis. So, anyway.
And we're bringing some back with us.
We are.
All right, so that was very serious, but that was number 5?
Yeah.
Let's go number 4, because there was a bunch of new products coming out.
Okay, so number 4, we're not going to get these straight away in Australia, but I wanted to show you because it's a whole new line that Young Living's looking at. So a few years ago, they had a new line for men, which was, Shutran. Last year they had the new line for babies, which was the Seedlings blend, and this year they've got a new line for teenagers, which is really exciting because teenagers are so concerned with their skin and we don't want to put the chemicals on them, especially endocrine disrupting chemicals. So they've brought out a new blend for teenagers. So there's an orange blossom face wash, so it's sort of they've used the same oils and to give it the same aroma and things like that, but it's a new formulation, so it's much more suited to teenage skin. And then they've brought out a moisturizer as well, specifically to go together for teenagers, so that's really exciting. So that's my number 4. Okay, number 3. This probably got one of the loudest receptions when they launched this. So I'm clumping it together because it was too hard to go through and choose my top 5. But then,
well, hold on. It's interesting you say clumping it together because that's what this product won't do.
No, it won't clump. It's the mascara.
I'm so excited! The mascara.
It's absolutely.
I'm not that excited.
Everyone at convention was literally screaming when they launched this because we've got all the other Savvy products, lipsticks, everything else, but we didn't have a mascara. So.
And now we do.
Yeah, and best of all, come the 14th of July in Australia, we will have it too. So anyway, so that's the mascara. But in general, I just thought I'd run through some of the...
I'm so excited.
It was very exciting. Aren't you guys excited? Tell me if you are. But I thought that we'd run through some other exciting Savvy stuff.
No, hold on a sec. This is Tim's top 5. You don't get to do like... Oh,
but I needed to show you. So there's 2 new primers. There's a hydrating and a matte finish primer, so to go under our makeup, whereas previously we'd been using the Orchid serum, the beauty serum, but now we've got 2 primers. There is a matte veil, so for those of you who don't like the diamond dust with the glittery stuff, there's actually a matte
That's to
veil.
finish off your whole look, as I understand it. And
there's a brush to go with the matte veil, so a new brush. There is an eyeshadow
Handmade
palette,
brush.
which I probably should have taken out to show you.
Yeah.
So there's a new eyeshadow palette. Hang on,
coming.
I'm just got to get it open. Whoops. Yep, so new eyeshadow palettes. There's 5 new lipstick colours. I won't go through each of those. And
but
3...
They're all brighter, aren't they? Was
yes,
everything
yes.
brighter or deeper
Reds,
or more bolder?
Yeah, reds and browns. So, you know, much more deeper colours.
I'm becoming an authority on this stuff now.
And 3 new multitaskers. So they're like, you know, so that you can do whatever you want with them. You can add them to your foundation. You can add them to eyeshadow. You know, I'd been using the multitasker to hide the greys. So anyway, but that's the new savvy stuff. So that's number 3.
Okay, 3, yep.
Okay, number 2. Oh my God, I was so excited about this as well. And I know some of you are because you've already seen pictures of it. But look at this. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? So, best of all, if you already love the Desert Mist Diffuser, because it does...
which we do.
Yeah, the 11 different light colours, the candle flickering, the fact that it goes for 5 hours on full, 8 hours on low, and
well, actually
10,
close, just
10
over
hours,
10 plus, they say.
10 plus hours on intermittent, then guess what? It's got the exact same base and motor and functions and everything like that, just a different top. And it's metal. Can you hear that? Metal. It's not plastic. So...
it looks cool.
It's very cool. So, I mean, obviously we haven't got it plugged in and working, but, and I had to get the US adapter with this one, but when it comes to Australia, we will have the Australian adapter.
But how nice would that look in your lounge room or, I mean, it's just classy. It's very classy.
So same instructions, same everything, same buttons, just a different top. Yeah, nice outside in your garden area. Like if you've got a nice outside veranda, have it running with some citronella or some purification in it. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Beautiful. That was number 2, the new diffuser. Yeah. And that brings us...
it's called the Lantern Diffuser. Yeah.
Because it looks like a lantern.
Yeah.
That brings us to number 1. And there's been a lot of products, so... number 1, this is pretty special, I think.
Okay, so I chose this as my number 1 because for me, this was the biggest game changer. I'm going to cry. I'm really, really passionate about getting rid of the hormone disrupting chemicals from my kids' lives. Yeah. And, you know, I won't feed them soy. I won't use supermarket bought shampoos, conditioners, chest rubs. I mean, that's why I teach you all how to use these, you know, make your own chest rubs and use the shampoos and conditioners and moisturizers and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, because I don't want those chemicals on my kids, and I don't want you guys to put those chemicals on your kids either. And one of the hardest things for me to find has been a natural sunscreen. Because they've all got things like, you know, if you buy sunscreens from the supermarket or, you know, yes, they're all, you know, 30, 50 plus or whatever. And, but they've got chemical filters in it, which filter the UVA and UVB rays. But those filters contain things like oxybenzoene and, you know, and even, I can't even think about that. But basically they all contain these...
parabens and phthalates, I think.
Yeah, these... but other ones are these nanoparticles. That's what I was going to say. Right. A lot of them contain nanoparticles. And they just don't know what these nanoparticles are doing because they're so small that they can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and get into the brain. Yeah. And... you know, heavy metals and things like aluminium, we know that all those things kind of lead to Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that. And I don't want nanoparticles in my brain. I don't want it in my kid's brain. And I especially don't want them to, you know, get things that from the hormone disrupting chemicals that are in sunscreen, because that leads to things, all kinds of things like, you know, heavier periods. It can lead to, endometriosis. It can lead to cysts, fibroids, and even obviously the estrogen receptive cancers that people can get. So I don't want that stuff on my kids, and I'm so passionate about it. And so when they release this product, like, because last year they released a similar product, but it was only SPF 10. This year, guess what? SPF 50! My God, it's SPF 50. So this is a mineral sunscreen and it's SPF 50. So
it's zinc oxide based, but no nanoparticles.
And you know what? Guess what? The TGA has already approved this. So we're getting it come September. So it'll be just in time for summer. So if you know other mums who don't want to put those nasty chemical sunscreens on their kids anymore, then tell them about this. It's coming in September. And it's been approved by the TGA, so we can actually make claims about it. I should have written down the claims, but we can actually say that it reduces the risk and prevents skin cancer.
Yep.
We've never, ever been able to say that about our products before. This is my number one for that reason. I know some of you probably aren't as excited, maybe the mascara or the diffuser or whatever, but it's Kim's top 5, and my top 1 is the sunscreen.
So you get to decide what's your number 1.
Yeah, and it's a sunscreen.
Yep.
Absolutely gorgeous formula. Smells nice, and it doesn't rub in. It will, it will leave a slight whiteness to your skin, but that's because it doesn't contain those nanoparticles. If you can rub your sunscreen in, that's because they're really, really tiny particles, and that's where that, it's more than likely that it's going to contain nanoparticles. This, just leaves that. It's not like zinc, like you don't end up with that big whiteness, but you just end up with that, like it's you can still slightly see it. Anyway, that's Absolutely. Kim's top 5. So, do you want me to quickly run through it again?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
Let's go.
Number 5, the exciting Freedom Blend. You've got to, you can only get this at convention, okay? It's a convention release only.
So, you've all missed out, but we've got one.
Yes.
That wasn't very polite.
Okay. Number 4. Oh, no, number 4 was with the new Orange Blossom range for teenagers. Okay.
Yep. Nice.
They also released an acne treatment. I'm just not sure that we're going to get it in Australia, so I didn't include it in my top 5, but it's an acne over-the-counter type medicine over here in the US. So that's why I'm a bit wary of including it, because we may not get it. But anyway, that goes
really good.
And a charcoal bar soap. Yeah. Okay, so number 4 was the Savvy makeup. So I showed you the eyeshadow palettes, the 2 new primers, and the mascara. Yeah.
Ah.
Number 2 was the brand new Lantern diffuser. Don't you just love that? I love the Lantern diffuser. And number 1 was the Mineral SPF 50 sunscreen.
Yay.
Okay.
Now, of course, that just leaves
Jeremy's top 1. You should have seen him yesterday.
Tell us about yesterday. That was
No, they probably already saw that video.
Oh yeah, there's a video of me. Yep. Can I just say, 37,000 predominantly women here at the
There's some
convention.
men.
There's a few men, none to mention really, but there are a few. And I've been doing some research, and let me just tell you that out of 37,000 women who are at this convention, do you know what they love on their men? Or actually on any man, really. I've noticed as I've walked past.
They can smell you.
They can
coming
smell
a mile
me.
away.
Yeah. So if you want, I don't know, what else can I say? Just, yeah, they love it.
You know what? We should have done a research project where we should have got the office to track sales of Shutran before we started Kim's Top 5 and as it went along to see if we increased sales of this one oil.
Well, Young Living, if you're listening, I'd love a free supply.
Anyway, we're coming to you from America. We'll be home next week. And
we've had a great time. And convention is amazing. If you get a chance, it's hard to explain how amazing it is to be here. But
lack of sleep. Neither of us have had very much sleep. You go. It's light here at night till like 10:30. So then you think, oh, it's dinner time. And then by the time you finally get into bed at like 12. And you get up at 6. This morning they had a fun run. We didn't quite make it. We got the shirt though. We paid the money to go in the fun run. We just didn't make it to the fun run.
We were just asleep.
Yeah. But there's lots of things to do. You've got to get to a convention. Symposium. Make sure you get to Symposium by the end of this month. You've got to the 30th to get the early bird price. I can't remember what you saved, but it's like half price or something. You've got to get to Symposium. Get your tickets. You can put down $100 deposit and then pay, I think it's $30 a month up until the February convention. It's at SeaWorld.
Are we going to do some special stuff with our team at Symposium? I think we should do something special.
We'll think about it.
I don't know what that is, but it's going to be special.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see
you next week. Bye, guys.